Hi everyone, my name is John McGillivray and I am the chairman of the Pastoral Search Committee, and I'm here to give you an update on the progress of our search efforts. Back in September, when we began this process after Brian announced his departure, the church council was given the task of finding his replacement. We sought the guidance of the Illinois district, and Pastor Phil Schneider and Gary Blanchard came out to us and talked to us about the importance of how to do this process properly. And so we followed the blueprint that the Illinois district gave us. And part of that blueprint was to first expand our team to a group of 9 people, not just the church council, but we added Laura Baker, Dana Serrano, and Chad York. And we began to develop a questionnaire for the body so that we could understand what you were looking for in a new pastor. That church survey went out in September, and we got that information back and began building the job description for the pastor that we as a body were searching for. We posted that job description on multiple websites and began getting resumes in. In total, we got over 40 resumes in from all across the United States, as well as the Far East and India. And so those resumes, we began the screening process to make sure they met the basic expectations of what we were looking for in a pastor. And we came to the conclusion that about 17 of them did. And that committee then took upon itself to do a deep dive analysis of each of those candidates. We looked at their experience, we looked at their credentials, we listened to 2 or 3 of their sermons to make sure that we had a good feel for what they were all about. After that screening process, we began to narrow the field of candidates down, and some candidates advanced, and we sent them a very in-depth questionnaire to really get a good idea of their theology and their approach to ministry. Those questionnaires came back with very, very thoughtful responses. Generally speaking, for each one of the questions, a pastor or a candidate wrote probably about a page to a page and a half response on each of those questions. And those questionnaires came back only to me. And what I did with that information was create a blind document where I removed any of the personal information that would cause a candidate to, we would know who that candidate was. But then what I did is I took all the responses for question number 1 and put them in a single document, and then did the same thing for question number 2, but I changed the order of the responses, and the same thing for question number 3, and so on. And the reason I did this is because I really wanted the team to spend time really thinking about each response and understand what resonated with them, what didn't, what could have been an area of concern or a question mark or a red flag. And so through that process, what I asked them to do was to rank each response. And through that process, we were able to narrow the field further. And then we began the interview round. And we concluded that interview round last Tuesday night, and we met together as a committee and really considered what we had heard and came to the decision that we were going to nominate Josh Wynn as the next senior pastor of Church on the Rock. Now, this is only a nomination. This is not a decision that is made by the church council. It's not or even this committee. This is a decision that is actually made by the membership. And this coming Saturday, you have one last chance to become a member of this body. So if you are interested in becoming a member and having a say in the vote on Pastor Josh becoming the next permanent senior pastor of Church on the Rock, please come to the membership class. You can sign up for it on the Church on the Rock app or call the church office. If you have any questions about this, we as a committee would be happy to hear from you and answer any questions that you have. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.